A beaming candidate, a well-filled marketplace, and even a little music. It's another perfectly choreographed campaign event, this time in the town of Brandenburg an der Havel. But things are not what they seem. It's just a few days before the elections, and the Social Democrats are well behind in the polls, with just 25% of the vote. Steinmeier seems to be fighting a losing battle, but he isn't letting it show.
We've fought hard, and I really feel since last Sunday there has been a surge of support across Germany. That's why I'm predicting that the election results on the 27th of September will definitely be very different to the polls that were done yesterday. I predict a strong showing for the SPD.
Steinmeier took a long while to move into the SPD spotlight. For years, he'd worked behind the scenes. People barely knew him. The voters had to get used to him, even here in his new local constituency.
He's convinced us. He's here a lot now. We had an SPD party, and many of the visitors came because of Steinmeier. They're interested in seeing what he's like. He showed that he can be one of the people. He drinks beer and talks to them like a normal person. He's very calm. He can laugh. And what you don't see on television, he's got a sense of humor.
But Germany's Social Democrats haven't had much to laugh about for a long time. As head of the Chancellor's office under Gerhard Schröder, Steinmeier helped to develop labour market reforms that were widely deemed as necessary but were extremely unpopular. They cost the SPD a lot of support. The party lost a third of its members. Then there have been recent problems with the SPD party leadership. In September 2008, Kurt Beck resigned as party chairman. In the midst of the crisis, Steinmeier was appointed the party's candidate for chancellor. It wasn't an easy transition from top-level official to top-level candidate. He had no experience of election campaigns. The expected increase in support for the party didn't come through. Some political analysts say the party urgently needs a phase of reorientation outside the government.
If the SPD ends up in opposition, then it will have to regenerate from the bottom up. They will then be forced to carve out a new profile that will set them apart from the Left Party and the Conservatives. Organisationally, they need to be regenerated from the bottom, through the municipalities, and to get a foothold in the state parliaments. Then, in 4 or 8 years' time, they could get back into power, perhaps via a coalition with the Left Party.
Back to the election campaign in Brandenburg. The SPD's strategy over the last few days has been to spread fear about the possibility of a coalition between the CDU Conservatives and the pro-business Free Democrats, the FDP.
Mrs. Merkel wants us to return to the 90s. The 90s meant lower taxes for a few and social hardship for many. Ladies and gentlemen, we must solve this together. We have to stop it. We have to fight against it. And you must help. We can't have a CDU-FDP coalition.
But Steinmeier can't really attack Angela Merkel any more directly than that. At the moment, his party's in government with her party. And if the SPD once again ends up in a grand coalition, he will want to be foreign minister under Chancellor Angela Merkel once more. This in spite of the fact that analysts say Steinmeier does have the credentials to be chancellor.
He is competent in many different political fields. He knows the Chancellor's office inside out. He knows how government works. And as foreign minister, he understands international relations too.
After his speech in Brandenburg, a country music band takes to the stage. And Steinmeier is happy to hang around. Life could be so pleasant, he might be thinking. No hopeless elections to fight, no defeat of historic proportions to worry about. Just enjoy the music and people's company.
Go and shoot my